right. The blood of the ancestors in my veins, heir to the heavens from whence we came. Reflection of the ether that forever remains, where the sun never sets and planets rotate. Bones may break, but the skin don't crack. Resilient spirits that stay intact. Feeling no shame, cause I'm proud of the fact that I came into this world wrapped in black. Wrapped in black, wrapped in black. I came into this world wrapped in black. Wrapped in black, wrapped in black. Let's go.
I asked my son if he'd like to look God in the eye. Took him outside and introduced him to the night sky. Cause the truth is there exists no truer vision in any religion, Muslim, Buddhist, Jew, or Christian, than the mighty dark abyss we're all suspended in. Motion brought time into our existence, but there is no end. Then I pointed to the melanin within my son's skin to let him know it's a reflection of God's perfection within him. Because his enemies align, I have him thinking bad about himself. If I hit him, it never did the math. God is the outer space of all that can't be contained. No form or no frame, unchained and untamed. And since our enemies ain't playing no games, might need to cock back and aim for this right to remain. That's why the day you were born was the day your life begun as a warrior, prepared to build and kill for our freedom. That's what's up. See, we ain't like these other figures, and hell nah, we ain't trying to play no games with them. Cause we know who the problem is and what we gotta do to get with them. See, I write in the night to bring truth to the light. You're damn right. The truth is never far from your sight, son. Your melanin's a piece of God that lies at the center. So if you ever seeking strength, take a look in the mirror. You know the business.
The blood of the ancestors in my veins, heir to the heavens from whence we came. Reflection of the ether that forever remains, where the sun never sets and planets rotate. Bones may break, but the skin don't crack. Resilient spirits that stay intact. Feeling no shame, cause I'm proud of the fact that I came into this world wrapped in black.
Wrapped in black, baby.
Wrapped in black.
Notice.
I came into this world wrapped in black. Wrapped in black. Wrapped in black. I came into this world.
This whole planet is sitting inside of melanin gas. It's dark out there. You think if you go outside, the atmosphere of the earth, there'll be sunshine everywhere. No, it's not. It's dark. And that's melanin gas. Everything comes from this dark side. It's called melanin. You have to go deep within, as they say. Go deep within that melanin crystal. That's how you're born. The baby wraps around the melanin crystal. And you call it the fetus position. Then it opens up like an umbrella. That's how you're born. Wrapping around the melanin crystal. And it lays the blueprint of how your muscles should grow, how your nerves should grow, how your bones should grow. It lays memory down permanently. Therefore, if I cut off your leg, somebody's gonna say, leg's gone, and say, my leg hurt. You look down and say, you don't have a left leg. You say, well, it hurts. Because melanin is permanent memory. The body still knows there's a leg there. Melanin cannot be destroyed. They used to put it in vials, and they called it your holy relics. They put it in little vials. You find it in the pyramids of Egypt. Your holy relics. Those are melanin crystals. And people would tap into that, tap into you. That's melanin. That's melanin. That's melanin. That's melanin. That's melanin. That's melanin. That's melanin.
Hey, what's going on? Roots, my poor dog. Hey, Yola, my girl, what's going on? Sis? What's happening? You live on YouTube too? I'm not really sharing any screens, so stick around. All right. Let me get this started. Get this party started. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to everybody on IG. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube channel. My name is Hanif Satterfield, author of the book Sobriety in Black And today, you know, every Sunday we do the sermons on sobriety. And today is no different, except it's a little special edition because, of course, today, Super Bowl Sunday. Shout out to the quarterbacks. You know, we got the Black Bowl going on, you know, Mahomes and Hurts, you know what I'm saying? I myself, you know, I don't really watch football too much ever since how they did my boy Kaepernick, just keeping it 100. But I'm not going to lie, I'll be dipping in and out watching the game a little bit, man. It's the Black Bowl, so we're going to check that out. And for me, my team's not in it. The team that I normally root for, which is the Buccaneers, is not in it. I'm probably one of the few people. I got a couple of homies in California that go for the Buccaneers. But because Jalen Hurts is the Q's, I will be going for the Eagles, you know, and that's really the only reason. Although on Kansas City, we got Bieniemy and a couple of other bros too. So root to them. Either way it goes, we winning. But today, you know, I'm going to keep this quick because I know folks is going to be getting ready for the Super Bowl and whatnot. But I felt like I had to do this broadcast for anybody out there that may be going through their first Super Bowl or second or third, and it's still, you know, something to deal with. But going through your first Super Bowl, trying to get through it sober without taking a drink. I remember the first, you know, couple of events that I had to go through with this last, you know, my last 11 years. And it can be tough. It can definitely be tough. I relapsed in a couple of events, so it took a few tries before I got it right. But over the past 11 years, and now as a recovery coach, when people ask me how I was able to get through it, I figured I'd share a little bit of advice that I have, so I am going to share some practical tips, but I'm also going to be, because this is sermons on sobriety, you know, I'm a reader. As I tell my sons and daughter, readers are leaders. So I'm going to be one Bible verse. I got a Bible verse on here. We'll be looking at Proverbs 4, 6, and 7. And then also I've been reading the Bhagavad Gita. Actually said that right. The Bhagavad Gita and some concepts in there that are going to help us. Good. Okay, Sunshine Lady, that's what's up. We always need more sober soldiers in the fight, so that's great. But some concepts from the Bhagavad Gita that can kind of give us some good perspective with regards to how to approach these special types of events like the Super Bowl. All right. So definitely, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I got folks on IG. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, do your boy a favor. Go on and subscribe. I got to get to the 1,000 subscribers. You know, those who know me know I really don't care too much about the numbers, but I need to start caring. So, gamblers, that's what's up. So I need to start caring because I'm looking at it like, you know, my effect size could be a lot larger. I could reach if I reach out to more people. So for no other reason than that, you know, the more people can see these videos, the more you share them. I'm going to start releasing more shorts and stuff like that. That'll, you know, break down some of these things into chunks that'll be easy to share. So for all of my people in the sober verse, you know, whatever you can do to help the cause, all right, would be great. But first, you know, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the verse from Proverbs, because let me see here. Where is it at? Give me one sec. All right, this is Proverbs 6 and 7. So it says, do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. And this kind of leads into the first step towards preparing for these events, taking a walk to sobriety, or any type of self-improvement, change that you're trying to make in your life. And that's, you've got to gain understanding. You've got to know. And in the Bhagavad Gita, they talk about concepts, and it's in chapter 7, which is on wisdom from realization, right? And it talks about the ajna, the jhana, and the vijnana, right? And I'm going to explain all those. I know it's a mouthful, but I'm going to explain all those, and then I'm going to get to how it ties into the practical tips. Now, Proverbs 4, 6, and 7 basically starts by saying, look, you've got to know, right? You've got to know. Without knowledge, you start from being ignorant. It's one thing when you're making moves ignorantly, but it's another thing, and you empower yourself
when you start to grow, when you start to, understand and know certain things, right? So yeah, I got to learn about that pen stuff. Forgive me if I just keep pushing on, but definitely DM me if y'all can help me with this whole thing with IG or whatnot. But anyway, getting to know. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Hindu text, it's one of their holy books. I like to read a lot of different holy books. I read the Quran, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, always looking for other books to gain, pieces of knowledge from and perspective, because a lot of them say the same things in just different ways, right? And learning how to talk in different ways is kind of a good way to tap into my clients who come from different walks of life and just other people who are seeking sobriety, right? And seeking self-improvement and self-care. So the first concept they talk about is ajnana, right? And these are kind of on a continuum. So kind of how you start and where you end, where you're trying to go. So ajnana is ignorant awareness. It's just knowing that something exists, right? So not knowing how to deal with it or anything like that. So that's where it's awareness that you see something. So say, for instance, like you're in a dark parking lot going towards your car. There's not a lot of people around. There's some people, some individuals kind of loitering around, and they're kind of looking at you. They're kind of around, and you see them, but you're not paying them any mind, right? You don't notice what, if they've got anything in their hands, what they're doing. They're just there. That's ignorant awareness. Like, okay, I physically see some people, but you don't pay it no mind, right? Walk into the car, you're by yourself, right? You walk into the car, and it's an awareness, but it's an ignorant awareness. You haven't really thought about, the surroundings, the fact that maybe the store is closed and there's no need for you're the last one out the store. There's no need for anybody to be standing in the front. That never occurs to you. You're just like, oh, okay, the people are standing there, right? Next thing you know, knocked over the head, take the keys, take the car, or whatever, right? So with ajnana, okay, so here in chapter 7, and this is a commentary that kind of leads into the chapter. They talk about, hold on, sorry, give me a second here, guys. Okay, so it says, one who has merely heard of, and let's just take fire, the concept of fire, because they talk about it here. One who has merely heard of fire has ajnana. So you've heard of it, you see it, like children, right? They see a fire. They don't know what it does, know what it do, but they physically see it. They are aware of it, okay? And that's ignorant awareness. That's stage 1. Then stage 2 is jnana, which is a knowledgeable awareness. Now you understand what fire does, right? So it says, one who has merely heard of fire has ajnana. One who has seen fire, and to an experience of it, has jnana. You know the fire's hot. You know that if you stand in it too long, you're going to burn. You understand what fire can do for you, what it can't do for you. So you're very knowledgeable on it, right? You're very knowledgeable on it. This goes from I'm aware that those guys are in the parking lot to, hold on, there's a bunch of guys in all black with hoodies on and masks, and you know what I'm saying? They're just kind of loitering around in the parking lot. They're eyeballing me. Right? Something may look suspicious, right? In past, people have been getting knocked over the head in this parking lot. Okay, maybe I could possibly become a victim. Oh, pin my YouTube channel. Oh, you can just go to YouTube, type in sobriety in black, and I promise you it's going to pop up. That little symbol you see in the top right corner of the screen. Oh, well, you can't see it. But type in sobriety in black, YouTube/@sobriety in black. Thank you. I got to learn to do that pin thing. But thank you for that now that I understand why you said that. So jnana is a knowledgeable awareness. So with regards to sobriety, right? Ajnana is, I know that people have the ability to get drunk, or I know alcoholism exists, but you may say, well, it's not me, you're just drinking a lot, but you know of the concept of alcoholism, right? Ajnana is, okay, some of my experiences kind of fall in line with, you start contemplating and saying, you may start asking yourself, do I have a problem? You know what I'm saying? It's where you may start saying, maybe sobriety would be best for me. Maybe and I get a lot of people who say, I'm thinking about quitting, right? Then I ask them why. And then that's where, the jnana kicks in, their knowledgeable awareness that some of the things that they do may be in that realm of addiction, right? Then there is Vijnana, which is awareness in action. It's applied knowledge. Once you learn and you know and you understand, right, you start questioning. Once you know and you understand, you say, okay, I know that I need to be, living a life of sobriety. I know that I deserve an alcohol-free life. Yes, deserve an alcohol-free life. And I'm going to start, I've learned some tips and tricks, right? And I'm going to apply them in the hopes that it'll take me on the path towards the goal that I am trying to accomplish, which is a life of sobriety, or in this case, getting through the Super Bowl without a drink. We're going to just look from that standpoint, getting through the Super Bowl without a drink, surviving the Super Bowl. So what we're working towards is getting those tools, okay, so that we can act on them. Because without Vijnana, yeah, you can have Ajnana, and Jnana is fantastic. It's like having all kind of book knowledge, right? Right. But without Vijnana, without acting on what you know, everything else is essentially useless. There's really little value to it, right? There's really little value to it. And so what we want to do is for this episode, we're going to be talking about laying down a actions, some knowledgeable actions, right? Or inactions that you can do or not do that can help you when you're in an environment. And this is coming from the standpoint of you maybe going to a Super Bowl party. If you're at home by yourself, there are things that you need to prepare to in that case too, right? Like I prepared. I'm here by myself. I do plan on watching the Super Bowl a little bit while I do some work, but I have some things that I've done to kind of prepare myself, to actively kind of feel like, I'm in that community of people that are watching it, being aware and just kind of enjoying myself, right? So Vijnana is something that we want to work on. Now, also in this text, they talk about two other concepts and how they tie together. They talk about Prakriti, which is the principle of mind and matter, right? So this is connecting your mind with the physical realm. The things that you think are manifested in what you do, right? And then you have Purusha, which is a principle of pure spirit. So in the beginning, like we talk about the difference between sobriety and recovery. Sobriety is physically not drinking. Does that mean you're well? No. Does that mean that you don't have cravings? No. Well, even if you're in recovery, you may have cravings. But does that mean that you have addressed the problems that brought you to your addiction? No. Just means that you physically have not picked up a cup of alcohol and shoved it down your throat. Recovery is when you start dealing with the issues that brought you to your addiction, right? So that's where the road, and sustained sobriety, what you do in your sustained sobriety, your Vijnana, the things, the actions that you do with your mind affecting your matter can, at a certain point, it'll affect your spirit to where you are living a fully sober and free, alcohol-free life in mind, body, and spirit. And that's always your goal, right? And that takes time, it takes knowledge, it takes knowing, and then it takes action, and then it takes manifesting, right? So now we're going to get into what you can do. So this is really kind of dedicated and focusing on people who may be really struggling with, maybe you're preparing to go to a Super Bowl for your first time. I know a few people who are going to their first Super Bowl party and they're, working on not drinking, and some of them are nervous. I'm actually doing this for them, right? Doing it for myself, because this is actually part of what keeps me sober, is by keeping myself mindful. I told you, mindfulness is the answer. Mindfulness is the rent you pay in order to maintain your sobriety, right? Okay, so I'm just going to go through some of these things, and you might have some other suggestions. If you do, please feel free to leave comments. Oh, let me look at the comments. Hey, good to see you. Oh, yeah, viewing. Okay, got you. Hey, shout out to everybody. Forgive me if I'm not, I'm learning more about looking at these comments, because I'll start running my mouth and forgetting. It's not that I'm ignoring you or anything like that. Shout out to Cassandra Burt, Sunshine Lady. Let's see, Mike Eric, 66. Let me see. And what was it? Love Creates Space. Okay, Love Creates Space, and a couple of other folks. Shout out to all of you guys for stopping by. So with regards, I'm still working on getting better at it, guys. All right. So first, I numbered these tips, but I'm pretty good at going out of order, so I took off the numbering. But I would say for the first thing, and this is one of the concepts too that you want to be reminded of, principles inform strategies. Strategies inform tactics. So principles are the rules that you live by. So the principle being, thou shalt not drink, right? Now that doesn't answer how it's not going to happen. That's where we get into strategies and tactics. So the overwhelming principle is, and goal to not drink, right? Strategies is what we're going to get into. Now, with regards to starting the first strategy, which is technically a principle to operate on whenever you're dealing with events and sobriety, that events that may bring cravings or any kind of difficulties, is this. And this is the overall principle we're going to say with regards to the Super Bowl. The overall principle, and it's the reason why normally I go on later, but I decided to go on now, give you a couple, because I think the Super Bowl is like in an hour or two. Prepare. Prepare. Number one thing you can do, especially in the beginning of sobriety, until it becomes a part of your spirit, right? To where it's just the way you operate. Like, you don't have to prepare to take a shower. If you're grown, I pray to God, you don't have to prepare to take a shower. When you're a kid, your mom prepares you. Like, okay, you got the soap, you got to change your clothes and all that. Now we're grown. We can wake up in the morning and decide what we want to wear. We don't have to put out our clothes in the morning, right? But that's because in the beginning we did. So when it comes to these events, prepare. And that's why I wanted to do this, so that when I get off, you got some time to prepare. All right. That is your principle. That is the principle that you operate from whenever you're dealing with going to a funeral, right? That may cause you grief, to cause you to want to drink. Going to a celebration where you're going to be around a lot of people drinking and quote unquote enjoying themselves in their drunkenness, right? Prepare, prepare, prepare. All right. So if you remember that, you don't go in there blind. You don't go into war without a gun and saying, I'll figure out how to fight when I show up on the battlefield. You prepare. And the beautiful thing about these events, especially like the Super Bowl, is they're coming. They're coming. So you might as well get prepared, right? So one thing I always do is, this is a strategy, right? Or tact. Oh, hold on. There it is. Purchase your own and show up to the event with your own drink of choice and your own cups. So for me, most people, especially when they're drinking alcohol, they drink no matter what kind of cups, solo cups, right? I get my own little pack of solo cups. Will they have them there? I don't want to be dependent on hoping that the environment's the way I want it. I affect the environment. So I always have some solo cups in my trunk, and then I will take my drink of choice. Now I drink in a brews, non-alcoholic brews. I drink my Heineken Zeros, okay? I drink my Budweiser Zeros. There may be some people that don't drink any of those. You drink juice, you drink kombucha, you drink whatever it is that you want to drink, purchase it and bring it with you. Bring your own weapons to the war, right? I would say, if there's a special type of drink, maybe a special type of, whether it's soda, maybe you don't normally drink soda and you really like it, treat yourself. Like, don't, try something new, right? Maybe you go to Walmart and look around for a different type of juice, or try and mix something together, something you like, get you some fruit, cut it up, right? There you go, pure cranberry juice. Yeah, real talk. My thing used to be, because when I was drinking, it was cranberry juice, lime, and vodka, right? Absolute. Well, I just got rid of the absolute. I drink my cranberry juice and I'd have my own lines. I bring my own fruit, right? Because adding fruit in the drink kind of gives it that look and consistency of, a mixed drink. I bring my solo cups as opposed to having a cranberry juice, cup or a can, because look, in the beginning, I wanted to look like I was like a drinker like anybody else, right? So yeah, that's what I said. Your own cup. Bring your own cup. It may be a Yeti or whatever, but whatever it is, is comfortable. Because one thing is, when you have the things that you are in control of choosing, you're more apt to stick with those things. See, what I used to do in my early sobriety is I would show up to the party and drink up all the chaser. Because that's also too, that's why I say bring in your own. Because you may say, well, they'll have stuff there. They'll have some Sprite to mix with this. Don't go drinking up people's chaser, man. Look, just because I don't drink alcohol doesn't mean I'm trying to hate on everybody that chooses to do it. All right. So drinking, and usually it's just soda, and it's like, who wants to drink all of that? And my thing is, even more importantly than that, even if they have their own, when you bring your own, you're more empowered. You're simply more empowered. And you can pick, get you some fruit, watermelon, pineapple. Shoot, if you want to put an umbrella in that bad boy, do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to get some salt. I mix a lot of my beers, my NA beers, well, I say NA brews, with, y'all know, y'all probably have seen this on my Instagram more than a few times. I love this stuff right here. It's pineapple ginger margarita mix. I'll mix it with margarita mix all day. Margarita mix. Or last night I went to a hookah bar and experimented with, they got these new Red Bulls. There's original Red Bulls, and they got these Red Bulls that are different flavors. They're like, one's in an all blue can. It's like blueberry something. And I bought like one of each. It's like 4 for like $7. And mixing those with my Heineken Zero, I was chilling. Like, and I had my solo cup. So, as far as socially, I didn't feel socially awkward, because a lot of times people relapse because they feel socially awkward. And it's easy to say, well, you shouldn't have to do all that. Look, you do what you got. As long as you don't drink, you do what you got to do. Okay. And remember, like I said, don't let anybody shame you into not pursuing the strategies and tactics that are going to help you. Remember, you're selfish in your sobriety. You're doing the things that'll help you. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. Okay. And so that's one. Get your own drink of choice. Bring your cups. I bring some fruit, bring a knife to where you can be self-sufficient. There are times where I've done that, and I've shown up to a party or something, and they see me cutting up my own pineapple and putting together my drink, and they want to drink it. All right, let me try this. Oh, this is good. Now, of course, you get some knuckleheads who then pour vodka in it, but that's their business, right? But, I have some cool little juices going on, you know what I'm saying? And I prepare it, All right. As far as, especially in the beginning, or, if that social awkwardness comes in, always keep a cup in your hand. If you're feeling anxious, keep a cup of something in your hand. A lot of times when you keep something in your hand, right, and you stay active and involved in the scenery, you'll feel more empowered as well. And like you said, Sunshine Lady, empowered is a big thing. That's big for me. My man Kenny's on 12 Faces of Sober. Get his book. Black male veteran that is in recovery, been doing the dang thing for a minute, been online longer than me. He's helped me out and more ways than he even knows. But definitely, you guys see him there in it's 12 Faces of Sober, 1-2 Faces of Sober, spelled regularly, not with no Z's or anything like that. But definitely add my man up. All right. But yeah, keep a cup in your hand if you feel anxious, right? That way you blend in with the scenery. All right. Another thing is, take your own distractions. Have some cards, dominoes, a book. You got your cell phone. If it gets to where you just need to distract yourself, you know what I'm saying? You find somebody else you can play dominoes with. If there are kids there and you got to play with them, or cards while you're watching the game, right? So you stay busy. A lot of people won't interrupt you offering you drinks and stuff if you're engaged in some kind of activity. Because a lot of times it's just a matter of being present. You don't necessarily got to sit there and watch the game. I don't even really watch football like that. So a lot of times I'm moving around, I'm eating, I'm talking to folks, right? Now you got some people who are out there, they're the football Bureau of Investigations, and they studying plays and all that mess. That ain't the kid. And half of the times, if you're not going for one of the other teams, if your team's not in it, you could be marginally interested, right? And so, take your own distractions with you. If you notice, one of the principles in preparation is take your good time with you. Take your distractions with you. Don't depend on when you get there. There have been, I don't know how many times I've gone to a place where I was like, okay, well, I'll just drink. I'm pretty sure they have juice there. Then I show up and it's nothing but straight liquor because I'm sitting there with usually a bunch of, that's usually when you get the super grown drinkers who are like, Chaser, what? How old are you, son? Right? And so they got like all kind of liquor, and ain't not a drop of nothing. It's either tap water or liquor. And that is just, especially in the beginning of sobriety, whoo, good luck. It's not impossible, but it's definitely more of a struggle than it has to be if you could just take your ass to 7-Eleven and get you something, right? Taking your own distractions, be strapped down, put your good time, put your party in the trunk so that you're always prepared, right? If you get there, let's say situationally you get there and the cravings are kicking in, but you don't necessarily want to leave, which is definitely a tactic, just shake and take your ass home. But if you don't want to do that, you can always go outside, go for a short walk if you're, at a house. Usually we're at houses and places like that. Or even if you're in a building, you can go outside. If they've got a smoking patio, you ain't necessarily got to smoke, but, go find you a nice little breathable corner and just relax for a minute. Collect yourself. The key is you run your show. I told you guys my last broadcast was unapologetic Black sobriety. You run your show, okay? You challenge the environment. You don't allow the environment to challenge you, all right? And that's why you bring your good time. You come prepared with your tactics and strategies and hold on to the principles that you hold dear, right? So if you need to walk, go outside, go for a walk. Jumping in Uber, have Uber on standby, whatever if you didn't drive, right? Me, normally I'm always driving. That way, if I gotta go, I just gotta go. And sometimes I don't hug, ain't no hugs, no high fives, none of that. I just disappear. Okay. If I feel like it's just gonna get that serious. All right. So if you need that breaks, a little bit of separation from the situation, do that. You may have your relatives that are trying to get you to drink because they're trying to drag you back to the dark side and you just don't really feel like, dealing with them. Maybe you're not there yet and you don't want to cuss them out, start a fight, ruin everybody, cause tension. Hey, separate yourself. Go outside, go for a break, do what you got to do, right? Another one, and this is a big one too. Prepare your reason how you answer the question, why aren't you drinking? All right. And this is one thing that this may be people can say it's controversial. Well, look, this is how I get down. All right. 11 years. I ain't trying to hear nobody tell me that it's right or wrong. I will absolutely lie to your face. I have done it. Okay. Especially in the beginning, because when it comes to my sobriety is my fourth child. I've got 3 kids. Boom, right there. My fourth one's my sobriety. And will I lie to you for them? Damn right. Steal, kill, destroy, burn down, ruin. I'll do whatever I got to for them. And the same goes for my sobriety. I've told people that I had to do a kidney transplant. And so I had to be off liquor for 90 days because I was going to do a kidney transplant to my auntie. And she's going to die if I don't give her this transplant. And they were going to test me. So I had to be alcohol free for 90 days. I've told people that I've made $5,000 bet that I would not drink for 30 days. I made a cop who could breathalyze me. I've said all kinds of stuff. All right. Because what does that do? When people go, oh, for your auntie, they back up. When it comes to your kids, when it comes to your family, yeah, I got to do this transplant. Man, I do want to drink. I really do. I'm not lying, man. I'd do anything to drink, but my auntie's life is in my hands. I don't even know if I'm a match, but they got to do this test. I'll make up whatever. Half these people don't know what's what. And if they do, screw them. You lie anyway. If you got to go there, go there. Protect your sobriety at all costs. All right. If you're strong enough to just say, because I choose not to, and you're willing to stand on it, that's that unapologetic UBS, that unapologetic sobriety, right? Where it is what it like. That's me now. Like, hey, I don't drink, well, but why did it? Hey, man, I told you I don't drink. Why are we having this conversation? We don't need this conversation. I don't even need to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know. What do you care? You know what I'm saying? You can't put it down. That's your business. I decided to be better than you and not drink. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter to me, but it took a while for that. And I'm really directing this to people that are in the beginning trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, some of the things I've said, I made a bet I wouldn't drink, and I'm not going to give up, $1,000 to sip at a dang Super Bowl party. Medical reasons are always great. The kidney transplant, I made that one up. Good, hey, it worked to it. Back to everybody up off me. Hey man, how's your auntie doing? I got people asking, oh yeah, I did tell you that lie, didn't I? All right. Another thing, take an accountability partner. If you got another sober soldier with you, right? If you got another sober soldier with you, take them with you. If you got somebody that loves you enough to box you if you try to get a drink, take them with you. You understand what I'm saying? There you go. I don't gamble. I will die. Yeah, exactly. Just, whatever you've got to say, because a lot of times you're going to know who these people are. So you adjust your response to them. But if you have some canned responses ready to go, that's where the preparation comes in. A lot of times in the beginning, you're just like, man, I'm just going to go here and hope my willpower gets me through. Yeah, good luck with that. Hey, if it does, fantastic. But to be prepared with some other tools in case your willpower gets shaky or the social pressure becomes too much, you need to have some things on deck. All right. And like I had also said, lastly, treat yourself. All right. If you got a less harmful vice that you engage in, hey, look, I'm going to tell you like this, man. Like, I went to the hookah bar last night. Now, I had some people that have told me, hookah is dangerous and this, and this. Ain't as dangerous as drinking alcohol for me. So my demon is alcohol. I'll worry about solving the rest of the world's problems and not eating pork and not doing hookah and, this. I'll worry about all that later. As long as I'm not drinking, I don't give a damn right now. I eat candy, cake, overindulge in some food, whatever. I'm not, especially if it's Super Bowl Sunday, you're not engaging in cake eating and all these other things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Treat yourself. All right. Give yourself some grace today. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to try a different drink, you may have a couple of extra preservatives. You're curious about it. Hey, as long as it ain't got no alcohol in it, do your thing. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I get down. All right. But these are just a few tips that I hope that will help you guys. All right. Not to be signing off, but remember, we talked about ajnana, which is ignorant awareness of something. So, everybody who's on here is at this point, you should be past that point, right? That, that alcohol, whether you're an addict or not, or an alcoholic or not, that to a certain degree, alcohol brings problems, whether it's problems to you physically. You definitely taking a gamble. Like I tell anybody who drinks, hey, every time you drink, you're taking a gamble, period. Especially if you're going to an event and you're drinking and you're driving home. I don't care if you drink like a sailor, you're a fall down drunk, or this is the first day in your life you've ever had a drink. If you take it, you are gambling, period. There are plenty of people who on their first night of drinking, it was their last night alive, right? So you don't necessarily, DUIs ain't just for alcoholics. Jail ain't just for killers and murderers. There are some people who, hey, man, on my 21st birthday, I got drunk and I ran into somebody and now I got 40, 50 years. Everybody knows about, speaking of football, Henry Ruggs III was drafted by the Raiders. What happened to him? Ran into somebody arguing with this girl, drunk. They drunk. He arguing with her, driving 150 miles in a residential area, hits a car, kills a lady. She burns inside the car, her and her dog. You know what I'm saying? And so now he lost his $17 million contract, right? I'm pretty sure he wasn't the, one of 15 NFL players in his family. If I'm not mistaken, there are a whole lot of people in his family that's probably dependent on him. Now he's fighting for, trying to, if he can get 20 years, he can thank God. Lord knows how long he's going to be sitting down, right? We wouldn't trade our live situation, no matter how terrible it is, with his in a minute. And this is somebody who had $17 million coming. All right. So think about that. Think about that. And hopefully these tips that I've given you can help you. Anybody, if you're in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, and please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also, if you're interested, I do have a book, Sobriety in Black. You can check it out on Amazon. All you got to do is type in Sobriety in Black and you'll see it. You actually see the bottom part of my beard and this little thing here. This is my 11-year sobriety coin, because yes, I do floss my sobriety. All right. My sobriety is a source of pride. That's how I look at my sobriety. It's not a badge of shame. It's a source of pride. That's why I wear this. And that's why I let people know what it is. This is 11 years. You can't buy this. You got to go without alcohol for 11 years to get this. And you could put a 1-year coin, a 30-day coin. I got this chain on it. I got this on Amazon, bought the coin on Amazon, but it's priceless because you can't buy it. It takes time and it takes, it takes that vijnana, that active application of knowledge. All right. So to all of you guys that are going into the Super Bowl sober and hoping to come out of it sober, I pray that it works for you. Hopefully some of this information will help you. If you know anybody that this may help, definitely feel free to share it with them. But ultimately use it for yourself first. Put your life vest on first before you start slapping life vests on everybody else. All right. I hope this poured into you. If you do have any other suggestions, definitely feel free to leave. Athletic Brew. Love Athletic Brew. Yeah. The Athletic Brewing is good too. And then there's also another one. It's Klostaller. I know they have it at Winco. It's Klostaller. It's like Guinness. It's a stout. Really good non-NA stout. Tastes just like Guinness without the bad stuff. So if there are other brands that you guys are interested in or about, put them in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Share some of the knowledge you have. Everything that my list is not comprehensive. All right. So it is all about what you want to bring to the table and what you can get out of this. That's what it's about. All right. Shout out to Cassandra. I don't know if I said your name or like that. Yeah. Bring your own cup, bring your own drink. Exactly. That's one thing I liked about the hookah lounge too, is BYOB. So I could, control my environment. And I had a great time too. I had a great time at the living room out there in Richardson, Texas. So you guys have a great day. I pray that everything goes well. And remember, be sober, be vigilant. All right. Remain that way. And until next week, peace.
Back when I was drinking, alcohol was my God, alcoholism was my religion, and an alcoholic was my identity.
And I can never be who I used to be. I'm sorry if you got used to me.
Our history with alcohol, how it's marketed to us, our relationship with alcohol versus other groups of people and their relationship to alcohol is different. And so it requires extra considerations when we're looking at sobriety and recovery.
Sobriety in Black is about alcoholism. It's about the DUIs. It's about the wrecks. It's about the revelation. And it's about the recovery. It's about a process that can help anybody gain freedom from their addictions.